Hey guys, we are back. Uh,
Ayo.
I got Jrad here, I got Neighoff here, and I'm back. I know we missed Tuesday, I know we missed Wednesday. Thank you to Jrad pushing me. I have been fully engulfed in Destiny 2 on Steam, PC Gaming, so I
It's
have missed the
embarrassing.
last 2 nights. It is a little embarrassing, but I can't. It's like a strong addiction. I can't stop it. It's like
And
it's
it's
like
Thursday
ghost.
night.
It's like ghost trading for Nile or for JRed. It's just an addiction you can't break. Uh, but
Comes and it goes.
but we are back. We're gonna cover. This will be a quick one. It won't be as long as the last couple. We'll talk about some waivers real quick. We'll talk about some of the games this past week, some injuries, and then slide into our pick'ems. So what's going on, guys? Any thoughts? Any concerns? I know we're all watching the game live right now. I'm about 45 seconds delayed to you, Nihoff, so you might be able to
I'm
give us,
watching the game live. You guys are on a tape delay.
yeah, you might be able to give us quicker insight than I'm able to provide. But right now we're at about 2 minutes in the second quarter. Somehow the Giants, without Evan Ingram, without Saquon Barkley, without Sterling Shepard, are in this game at 14-14. Both defenses have scored a touchdown at this point. What
And
any thoughts? Any talk
And I
about what's
mean,
going on?
realistically, the Giants, it looked like they were getting ready to go in the half 14-0, and they get the touchdown to Golden Tate, and then get that defensive touchdown on the
You mean
Patriots'
the
ensuing
Patriots
drive.
were Patriots were getting ready to go in?
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, sack, fumble, touchdown, defensive play. Yeah, I thought the weather was gonna be a lot worse.
I heard it was supposed to be quite windy. I guess that just never happened,
Well, you can't see
or maybe it
wind.
didn't.
I gotta pay attention to the flag, but maybe you can. Who knows? I don't know.
True.
Yeah, weather was
Yeah,
supposed to be bad. Didn't turn out that way. Patriots come out hot. Giants come back with a big play. Defensive touchdown. 14-14 looks like it's heading into the half. So let's roll into waiver wires. We went over. I went over them quickly last week. I think we got through to. We got up to, I think, the trade between Jay Leonard and J Rad. After that, there were a couple little swings here. Haynes dropped Witten, picked up Naeem Hines. That may have actually been the last one I looked at. Ritter went out and got Mike Nugent, New England kicker, after Gostkowski was put on the IR. Looks like Rhodes dropped Gronkowski, picked up Henry. Joe Beal dropped Cobb, picked up Isabella. Jason, I guess he really needed a kicker. I don't. He must have to. It must be like his real life situation. Just too much money to throw around, and went out and spent $20 on Brett Maher, the kicker from Dallas.
Whoa!
everybody was going.
Oh,
That's crazy to
he's
me.
he's definitely not paying attention.
No, yeah,
No,
yeah, not paying attention. He doesn't pay
he
attention
doesn't
to the
even.
podcast, doesn't pay attention to Discord, doesn't pay attention to the league, doesn't pay attention to how Fab works. I don't think he realizes that it doesn't matter how much he sells this week, his Fab does not increase. Gus Edwards was dropped by Jay Leonard, picked up Kenny Stills. Rhodes dropped Devin Smith, picked up Dallas, and didn't pay a penny for him. This is how it's supposed to be done, Jason. So if you want to take a look at this, you're more than welcome. There's a big play to Jacoby Myers, all-team
Yeah,
preseason this year. Dawson
that
Knox
was so 30.
for Indy Isabella. I like this kid, Dawson Knox. It's a shame we don't play in a dynasty league because I think Dawson Knox would be a stellar dynasty pickup. I'm actually going to target him in my dynasty league now that I'm saying this out loud.
Mm. Well,
Um,
it's also a
He's a
keeper league,
bum.
it is
so I
keeper,
mean,
but I just don't like. I feel like you have to keep people that are willing to make an impact immediately, not somebody that you're stashing long term. Because our benches are so deep, you just redraft him next year if you really want to see what he does.
right?
I went and moved some information on the trade block. Zeke Elliott's out there. I'd be willing to part with Damian Williams, and the Lizard King is always available. He is what he is. He's an enigma, but he's out there. Of course, he went out and got hurt, so that didn't help.
Hmm.
And then we hit the waiver wires for this week, and there was some, I think, some tilt spending, some hopeful injury spending here, and then some immediate needs with the bye weeks kicking in. Rhodes dropped Darrell Williams and went out and paid $27 for Chase Edmonds.
Mm.
Now, Neighoff,
Chase's
you being
husband.
the David Johnson owner, I'm sure you're kind of hoping that David Johnson stays healthy. But were you targeting this handcuff here?
Yeah, I can't remember what I put out there. I don't think it was a whole lot. Well, I guess at least a whole lot compared to what I'm usually throwing out for
So you threw
bids.
11.
But yeah,
You're a cheap
I
asshole.
like the idea of having him later for a handcuff, and also in case David Johnson's out. But
You threw 11. The next bid was, let me get back to page 2 again here. The next bid was Gerald Everett, 26, dropping the O'Shaughnessy's. And
Ooh.
it was, the next closest bid was myself at $12. Hey, Mr. MMXIX, Jason went out and tried to get Gerald Everett also.
Would he pay $45 for him?
$10 was his bid. He was he paid. That's crazy. He paid 10.
He paid
for
more
him.
for a kicker.
He paid 10 for him and 20 for a kicker. Somebody talk to that boy, Rhodes. I know you listen to this. Call him and tell him.
James White touchdown. I just want to say it. James White touchdown.
James White touchdown.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep.
Michelle is getting hawked. We're almost to that point. We're gonna get to that here in a moment. Oh, he went end around. He went end around and shifted his way in. He might have been down
I don't
short.
think he got it.
Say.
I don't think his wrist is down. It's Sonny Michelle's time.
No, he's not. Brandon Bolden. So Jared.
They all let him.
Jared Cook got picked up for $10 over dropped Taylor Gabriel by Drew Bear. Los Angeles defense. Jay Leonard paid $8. Dropped Chris Conley. Drew Bear picked up Washington defense. He picked up the Washington defense for $8 against Miami this week, dropping Houston's D.
That's the only time you're going to be able to play that defense. But
this is a toss-up. You could easily pick up Miami and be just as good this week.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really sure what you're going to get out of the Redskins, obviously, with the coaching change. But I don't know. I feel like maybe this is a chance for the Dolphins to try and surprise them.
If you went out
probably not, but we'll see.
You went out and paid $3 for Green Bay, dropping the Rams defense. After Green Bay went out and put a negative point up just 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Was there one blip on the radar? But what's going on here? Why'd you pick up Mark Walton in Miami?
His touches are going up. Obviously Balaj is pretty terrible, so
he is dreadful.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's like watching PB football when he plays. It's terrible.
I always like throwing a flyer out there. I always try to find my weakest link on my team and look at if there's anybody worth stashing. Just in case if he goes out there and blows up this week.
Yeah, but the deep bench, take some flyers here and there, see what happens. If somebody blows up, you might be in good shape. Willie Snead for $3, dropping Derek Carr. I think he slid him right into a starting lineup off of this, too. Joe Beal cut bait on Baker Mayfield. I believe Baker Mayfield may have been like a top 5 round pick.
Yeah.
It was real early he went out and got him, and he paid the price this year. And it's definitely hurt his record. Garoppolo is a great pickup here. He's been in the teens. He's not been stellar, but he's got to be better than Baker. I think Baker actually finished up with 0 points this past week. He played a whole game and finished with 0.
They pulled him in the, I believe, early in the third or late.
He didn't leave the game because of injury is probably a better way to explain that. He got pulled because they were getting beat and he was playing so bad.
Yeah.
Darius Slayton for $1, dropping Antonio Callaway. Haynes picked up a kicker. Must be going. Yeah, he's got Chicago bye week. Dwayne Haskins, my brother, grabbed. He's been talking about him for weeks. I think he was really itching to get him on his roster. Drop Ben Watson, who just got cut. They held him through the whole suspension and then cut him. There's got to be something else going on. I'd be willing to bet that they have some more information somewhere, and he's probably going to get suspended again or something like that.
Yeah, that would kind of suck. I mean, Ben, he's one of the NFL good guys.
Yeah, he won the Walter Payton Award, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, his teammates always talk so highly of him.
Rhodes is making a lot of moves here. He went out and got Kyle Allen, dropped Jordan Wilkins. I picked up Jason Witten. Jalen Samuels just got a knee scope, out weeks. I paid a good bit for a fab on him, and it just did not work out for me. I believe Sony Michel is in the backfield right now, and
Yeah,
Tom Brady
Tom
took
Brady.
it in.
They didn't even give it to Sony Michel.
Oh,
There you
yes.
go, Haynes. Stick that in your juice buckets and suck it.
Um,
My brother dropped Paris Gamble. Jrad got Mason Crosby, dropped Josh Lambo. I went out and got John Hilliman in this game, and I don't believe he's gotten a ton of action.
I believe that touchdown came off from James White.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Tom Brady rushed it in.
Yeah, Brady just took it in.
So
I picked up Hilliman, dropped James Washington, another one that came up hurt, I believe, and is out several weeks. Vernon Davis for Tennessee by Jrad. Reggie Bonifan. This is my brother. He's listening to Fantasy Footballers. I know he is because they called him out as a pickup as a stash behind McCaffrey. But this is good for Chris because he's got McCaffrey, so this is a great handcuff move. Paul Richardson for Darius Slayton. Jrad. Wait a second. Didn't we just say somebody picked up Darius Slayton? You paid $1 for Darius Slayton on October 9th at 3:30 in the morning, and you turn around and you dropped him on October 9th at 5:49 p.m. for a free agent. Again, you made it 14 hours before you dropped the player you paid for.
I considered the weather,
and
I don't know.
Wait a
Is he playing
second.
well?
And then wait a second. He went.
I don't know. Is he playing well?
Wait a second. He went 68 minutes later and turned around and dropped Paul Richardson, who he picked up from Darius Slayton, and picked up Gus Edwards. So in 15 hours, he went from paying $1 for Darius Slayton to dropping him and picking somebody up to dropping that guy and picking somebody else up. You are the waiver wire master. You have been on a continuous tilt for 3 straight days. Your team is in such bye week trouble. You don't know what you're going to do. You're trying to trade everybody. You're on full tilt right now.
I enjoy trading.
I picked up Jacoby Myers, who has 3 receptions for 53 yards this week, 6.8 points already. Dropped Geronimo Allison, who I don't think has had 6 points in the last... He's top 6 points twice this season in 6 weeks. Or 5 weeks, sorry. Joe Beal went out and dropped Dawson Knox after I just praised how great of a pickup he was for a deep stash. Wait, didn't I just say he paid for him? Did I miss that?
I believe you did.
Yeah, he definitely paid for him, right? Oh, it was before. It was October 5th. He picked him up, dropped Andy Isabella, and then came back and dropped him here. Picked up Hayden Hurst. And then Haynes and I went out, and since you guys heard it, stick it in your juice box and suck it there, Haynes. I got Cortland Sutton. He took Sony Michel straight up. I had 4.
Give him James White.
I mean, he's got Sony Michel. He's got 5 points in the first half tonight. If he would have gotten that touchdown, this would have been a great game for him. But that's what the Patriots backfield does.
They didn't let Sony run it in. They let Tom Brady sneak it in.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, I always stay away from New England backfield, or I try to. It's hard to stay away. A high-scoring offense, a quality offense. You definitely want some shares of that, especially in a running back situation where, there's just a high-scoring opportunity there. But the backfield's always a mess.
Yeah, never fails. Jrad goes out and get Byron Pringle. Holy shit. He dropped Gus Edwards, who he picked up by dropping Paul Richardson, who he picked up by dropping Darius Slayton, who he paid $1 for. Single day.
Please tell me that he just did that.
That was 9:27 this evening, 30 minutes ago. He has rotated Darius Slayton for 3 other players in a matter of 16 hours, 18 hours.
I don't even know who Darius Slayton is.
He's got some points tonight. He's actually got more points, I think, than Byron Pringle, than Gus Edwards, than Paul Richardson, all of them. Then Jrad went out and changed his kicker. He got rid of Mason Crosby, who plays Detroit this week and has put up teens 3 straight weeks in a row, and picked up Matt Bryant, who's put up single digits 3 straight weeks in a row and is going on the road.
He's playing Arizona.
He's so what you're saying is J-Red's going to drop Matt Bryant and pick another kicker up within the next 8 to 9 hours.
You never know. But I'm gonna make the right call. Finish it off.
I believe
Okay.
you lost this past week, so I don't know if you made the right call. Haynes went out and got the move of the week. All the people you picked up, J-Red, you picked up Gus Edwards instead of Darrell Henderson. And you already have Malcolm Brown, I guess. But Haynes needs a running back. Still, I think he's digging for a stud. Obviously, he did not get it in Sonny Michel. But he dropped Raheem Mostert, Colonel Mustard, Mr. Mostert, and picked up Darrell Henderson. That rounds out.
That's not gonna. Okay.
Yeah, I mean he has gotten no time this year, no time at all. Malcolm Brown's going to be the lead, but if Gurley is out, I mean Darrell Henderson's going to get carries because there's no way Malcolm Brown carries the whole game. Like that's just not going to happen.
Right.
So we went out. That finishes up waivers. We went out last week. I was able to pull up the upset over Ritter. I consider it an upset because I should have lost this game. I was up by 0.42. 0.42 with one player left in the evening. Or I'm sorry, I was up a little bit more than that, I believe, because he had somebody else playing that night. Kansas City and Indy. I can't remember what he had. But I only had Watkins left to go, and Watkins goes out and gets hurt on, I think, like the second play of the game, and is out the rest of the game, puts up a goose egg. But I got the win. Godwin went off against New Orleans. Pretty solid week, but I caught a nice win there. I needed one big time. He took a loss. That hurts. Haynes got another one, gets him up to 2-3. He put up good points again. He keeps moving up the points ladder. Jay just his only win this year is against me. He's 1-4 and dead last.
I'm good.
Joe Beal went out and got a win against my brother. Knocked him down a peg. Got himself 2-3. 2-3 is a pretty tight spot. I mean, it goes all the way from 7th to 11th. So 3-2 or better is sitting in the playoffs. Rhodes went out and beat Sly Joubert, knocked him down to 5th. They're both 3-2. Rhodes is sitting alone in first at 4-1 somehow. He has the lowest points against in the league by 100. The next closest team to him is 100 higher. That's ridiculous. Absolutely insane. Jason upsets Neighoff. Keeps him out of first place.
Yeah, man. If I had played Gallup, I could have
But your
pulled that
kicker
one
is
out.
missing field goals. DR.
Yep, and you know the league of weird, unrational scoring.
Oh, it's not unrational. It's been the same way for years.
Well, it needs to change.
Haynes got a little aggressive in the group
Inappropriate.
chat. He called you out. He called you out for trying to talk shit about his commissioner. He wanted to let you know that the rules have been set, and there was you had plenty of time to protest those, and you didn't say a word.
Man, ain't not one of these motherfuckers went around and looked at these goddamn rules. Ain't nobody gonna do that shit. I guarantee you haven't even looked at them.
Well, I wrote those.
Yeah, you didn't write them. You picked options
I
on
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Handcrafted those rules.
You didn't handcraft that shit.
So Jason upsets you. It was by 14. Those kickers missed kicks are not the reason you lost.
No, but that doesn't mean that it still doesn't make sense to have them lose points if they miss a kick. I mean,
you stayed in second place. You are 11 points up on me for highest scoring team in the year. I'm
yeah,
right
actually,
behind you in third.
I picked up a couple points on you yesterday.
That's the 11. The 11 you put up is the 11 difference that we have pretty much right now. Because I think last week we were off by like less than 1. But Jason gets one. It makes him 2-3, and he's one win away from being in the playoffs. There's a 1 game difference we have the last matchup. Jrad he upsets or I guess not upsets, but beats Addicts, keeps him at 3-2. Addicts stays at 2-3. So our roster or our standings right now is Rhodes is number 1 at 4-1. We have 5 teams at 3-2. We have 5 teams at 2-3, and then we have Jay Leonard at 1-4. There is a 3-game swing from first to last, and there's a 1-game swing between playoffs and not right now.
Yeah.
And this week will put us just like a smidge under halfway. 6 weeks in, there's 13 regular season weeks, so we're right there. And then we'll roll into this week. And the first matchup I have on mine is Squad and Jubear. Why won't it let me pick? Let's try this. Try it again. It won't let me. Because games have already started, so it won't let me pick right now. Okay, but obviously I'm going to be taking myself.
Oh. That's a revelation.
Yeah. I mean, I got Godwin. I picked up Sutton this week. Elliott, Zeke's still there. By the way, he's on the trade block. Rhodes and I had a pretty nice blockbuster trade coming together, and he just texted me in the middle of the podcast and told me that he is not going to follow through with it. So it fell through. Talks broke down at the wire. So Zeke's still there available. Let me know if you guys need to work your team a little bit better. But I like my matchup. Zeke, Damian Williams came back. I got some carries. Tight end's my only weak spot, I think, this week. Defense could go either way. It's that 9:30 a.m. game this week, too. It's a super early game. You're going to have football for like 15 hours on Sunday now. But I like my team best. What are you guys thinking?
Man. Man, I'd have to go with you here. I mean, I like the Russell Wilson Lockett. I don't like Nick Chubb, even though they're at home against Seattle's defense. I don't like Joe Mixon against Baltimore's defense. I don't like Leonard Fournette at all.
New Orleans has got a good run defense too.
Yeah.
What do you got, Jrad?
Hmm?
Jrad? All right, he gone.
All right.
Anything else, Chris, or you good?
Nah, that's good.
All right, we'll roll to the next one. We got Haynes and Ritter. Now, this is a little bit different tonight because we've got points already being put on the board. Try to ignore what was showing up there because obviously New England's defense comes out and puts up a fucking touchdown already. Michelle's not doing terrible, but he's about halfway to his points. We're at halftime. So Haynes has got a slight lead. But, I mean, honestly, looking at these two teams, I really thought Ritter had one of the best teams in the league. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to stop him. I think Saquon going down, tragically hurt his team. I don't like having Marquise Brown as an every week starter. I don't like having Larry Fitzgerald as an every week starter. Will Fuller was number 1 in the league in air yards and finally blew up last week. But to expect him to do even remotely close to what he did last week is just asinine. So, you know what I mean? If you cut him back to probably 7 receptions, maybe 100 yards and a touchdown, that gives you 19 points. It's a 30-point difference. So, I just don't. I like Haynes' team. I liked Haynes' team here first before the game started, and I like him even more now seeing what New England did.
Am I back?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, I think I mean, I like Haynes' lineup this week. Patrick Mahomes against Houston. I mean, I do like Will Fuller again this week, mostly because as long as, that offensive line can keep Watson on his feet, Watson will shred any defense. But, so it's that you're looking at a high-scoring match there. Julio Jones at Arizona. Arizona's going to put points up on Atlanta. Jones is going to put points up. Beckham, I think at some point something's got to give. I think he has a total of 6 or 7 fantasy points the last 2 weeks. Tyler Boyd against Baltimore's atrocious secondary. God, they're so bad. Yeah. I mean, I can't not go Haynes here.
Alright, so your own Haynes. Jrad, did you have a pick in the first matchup between me and
Yeah, I was trying to
Bear?
explain that I was going to go with you. I think he's for the reasons of his running backs have tough defense to go against, and you have some good matchups. This one, um, I'm going to go Ritter on this one because I see a lot of good matchups for his receivers. I think since he isn't going to be hard to run against or pass against, and I think he's got Baltimore's defense against Cincinnati at home. I know New England's putting up good numbers right now, but I can see Baltimore doing just about the same to Cincinnati at home the way they've been playing. So yeah, I think Ritter's going to come back and pull this off.
Why does this say that New England's up 21-14? Wasn't it
Yeah,
14-14 going into the half?
no, they
they went
scored.
down.
No, they snuck that touchdown in.
Oh, that's right. They got that fast one at the very end. Never mind. Okay. I thought they came back. I thought it was still tied. All right, so we got you on Ritter. All right, next one is Joe Beal and Jay Leonard. He's got Prescott. Jay's got Prescott, Thomas, Jeffrey, Adams. He's got a stout wide
Man, look
receiving
at
core.
these. Look at the projections here.
Melvin low. I think they're really low.
They're
Melvin Gordon, Jordan Howard.
they're only off by .01.
Oh, like I got you head to head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Disley, Barber, Gold, Los Angeles. He got the Chargers defense, which I really wanted this week. Wentz, Thielen, DJ Moore, Sanu. Oh, God. Connor Gurley. Apparently, I just got the notification he did not practice again today.
Ooh, not good to not practice on a Thursday.
Yeah, and looking at his bench, he has Duke Johnson as a fill-in. I mean, with that news coming out while we're doing this, I have to go with. I think Jay Leonard's going to get a second win this week.
You need to recognize that Adams isn't going to play either.
Or is that for sure?
It says not optimistic that Devontae Adams will play. He hasn't practiced all week.
True. Yeah.
He wasn't even dressed
That's
for
true.
practice.
But I mean, he's got some depth here. Actually, maybe not. He's got Miko Hardman.
I mean, Kenny Stills, I think, could be a play if
He did practice on Thursday.
Okay, so that's always a good sign. Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. This is definitely kind of see maybe a little bit of.
Well, I'll put it this way: losing
bye
Adams
week
at
injuries hurt.
losing Adams at 14.4 projection on a Monday night against Detroit, where Jay has plenty of time to pick somebody up to play in his spot, versus Joe Beal losing his running back Todd Gurley, who's 14.26 against San Francisco's defense on Sunday afternoon. I think Jay has the advantage here to pivot outside of Joe Beal.
Yeah, I mean, Geronimo Allison's still out there now, apparently. So
I dropped him. Drop bait. Oh, damn. He's actually a good pickup. I might have to pull a Jrad. 8 hours later, pick him back up.
Pick him up.
So I got Jay Leonard. What do you think, Chris? Same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Jay here. I mean, realistically, Melvin Gordon, regardless of how they split those carries up, I mean, they're gonna play a Pittsburgh team that is probably gonna be hurting kind of offensively.
Jrad?
Yeah, I'll go Jay. I think he's got some better players. If Gurley's out, then I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, even if Gurley's in, they're playing the 49ers, and they have a pretty good defense right now.
Yeah. San Francisco's been very sneaky. So roll to the next matchup, which is my brother and Addicts, and look at these projections, Neighoff. 0.02 difference.
Jeez, what are the fucking odds?
We have a 0.01 and a 0.02. Now, I'm really surprised that my brother's sitting at 3-2 because with him having McCaffrey, he's an absolute fantasy cheat code. Austin Hooper's having a career year. Terry McLaurin's getting, I believe, Case Keenum back this week. Robert Woods and Jared Goff are just bound to eventually hook up. On the other side, though, Addicts has Cooper Kupp. I tried to trade Cooper Kupp for Zeke Elliott straight up, and he told me no. He said he would not give up Cooper Kupp.
I mean, I would. I don't
Typically,
think I would give him up either, but
typically running backs carry more value than a wide receiver, but he is holding on to him at 2 and 3. So I'm completely rooting against Addicts this week. Although Alvin Kamara popped up on the injury list today, Adrian Peterson has not been getting much work.
They're gonna. Callahan came out and said they want to run the ball more.
They want to.
They're talking about featuring him.
Yeah.
I'm looking for in another league. You know the younger years version of Adrian Peterson.
I'm going with my brother on this. More anger, more of a vendetta pick than anything. What do you got, Neighoff?
Yeah, I mean, I think realistically, Terry McLaurin has a huge week this weekend.
Yep.
I think, multiple touchdowns.
Is that your pick then?
Yep.
Jrad?
I kind of want to go back and pick Haynes because they just threw another pick.
No, we weren't supposed to take into account what was happening live.
Right. Right.
And there it is. Wow, great juggling catch.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, the Patriots defense might be the greatest pick of any single player, team, position, anything in the draft this year.
I just don't understand the scout. Like, why did they schedule the? I mean, I guess you don't know how bad the teams are going to be, but their schedule was the easiest schedule of the year.
Like Thursday night, they should be going on the road.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like if they're going to play a primetime game, I don't believe that they should be at home. I mean, I guess you give them 1 or 2 because it draws big crowd, big TV ratings, but like you got to send them on the road to make them a road dog because 90% of America hates the Patriots. There's one small pocket up in the top right-hand side of our map up in the Northeast that absolutely loves them, and everybody else hates them. So you could put them on primetime TV on the road, and everybody would pick the home team, and everybody would be rooting against them. There's no reason to put them at home against a Giants team that everybody has been saying for years has Eli Manning washed up. They know they're going to be utilizing their rookie quarterback at some point. The rest of their team is just not up to par with them. Like why is this the Thursday night game? And why is it not on the road?
Why is there any Thursday night game? They've been all terrible all year. They've are every year.
One-sided or just dreadful defensive fests.
I mean, they've been in they've been playing in this bad division for years and dominating, and then they come out with this luckluster, schedule, and they play at home.
I think you meant lackluster.
Lackluster, yeah.
Lucklaster.
Lucklaster. Anyway, back to this matchup.
My brother or Addicts?
I'm going with your brother. What's really drawing my attention is Austin Hooper has been a stud of a tight end, and he's playing.
How many ghost trades have you sent for Hooper?
No, I haven't traded. I tried to trade. I just know I won't be able to get him. I don't. He probably values him way more than I can offer him. But I think he's going to have a field day. I do think that Adrian Peterson on Addict's side is going to go off against Miami this week, but McCaffrey will offset that. So, yeah, your brother, I think, is going to pull it off.
It is crazy to me that New England drafted Damian Harris, and he's been not active. I don't think he's been active for a single game this year. They paid a pretty high pick for this kid, and they went out and they're just putting him on the NA list every week.
Yeah.
Next up, this is another game with active players in it, so try not to take it too much into account. But we got Jason. We got the Battle of the Brother-in-Laws. Mr. MMXIX versus Dixie Normus. Rhodes versus Jason. First place versus 10th place. Jason comes up with a big win here. This will definitely shake the league up a little bit. But he's got the Matt Ryan, Ridley stack against Arizona. Edelman against the Giants tonight, who's looks like he's fallen just below his projections. Smith-Schuster is what scares me. Against the Chargers, they have a great secondary. They have their third-string quarterback. Dalvin Cook against Philly. Devontae Freeman against Arizona. O.J. Howard is absolute drop bait at this point. I cannot believe he's still on this team.
I tried to trade Disley and a comparable wide receiver for Christian Kirk, and he refused. Or
Right.
actually, I don't think he really paid attention. So
I don't think he looks at his trades. I offered him a bunch just recently, and he probably doesn't listen to this podcast. So
yeah, because he's a big piece of shit.
Let me get a hashtag be piece of shit in the chat, please, boys. Devonta Freeman, OJ Howard. I really want to pick Jason here, but I just can't. Especially if Tyreek Hill shows up this week. I didn't realize he was going to be activated, but he's been practicing. And I guess with Sammy out, they may bring him back. I'm not really sure. I mean, he's no doubter if he plays, obviously. Landry, not a big fan of. McCoy, not a big fan of. Bell, Ertz, yeah. I mean, I gotta go Rhodes here. I'm going Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Rhodes too. I think that Tampa Bay Carolina game gonna wind up being high scoring. You know, Allen's been playing really well in light of Cam, and you know he's got Curtis Samuel, who I've been waiting for to have a blow up week in another league, and I think this is gonna be the week.
Right before the bye, this is the best chance. This will get you all hyped up. They'll go on the bye, and then they'll come back and get goosed in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that
I'm,
happening.
I'm actually
Yep.
going Jason here. I don't like Kyle Allen going against Tampa Bay, and Matt Ryan playing Arizona again. I think is going to put up some big numbers. So
I could see that. I mean, it is 9:30 a.m. game. Kyle Allen, maybe he'll be sleepy, driving from the Carolinas down to Tampa. That's got to be hard for those guys to get up and get hyped at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it.
Last
I
matchup.
was the last one. God damn it.
Kyle, shut up. Last matchup, we have you two. Actually, this is great. You're both both 3-2. There are some points being put up on the board. Looks like Jrad's slightly ahead of projections, and Neighoff is below because I think we saw Josh Gordon get helped off the field.
Yeah, I've been looking, waiting for an update. Haven't seen one yet.
But without looking at what's happening there, I do think this is probably one of the best matchups of the week. Watson Hopkins against Kansas City is beautiful. Mike Evans is due to have a big game again. Carolina's got a pretty good defense. Metcalf against Cleveland's a good opportunity. Carson popped up on the injury report today. Also, I saw that he was on the injury with a shoulder issue. So
Ooh.
I don't know how real that is. I think they have to list so many people per week, so maybe they just were like, "Hey, you have a shoulder injury. Let's put your name down."
Yeah, you don't like to see guys get added to the injury report on a Thursday.
Yeah, but
No,
something like
doesn't look
that
good.
doesn't scare me nearly as much as like an ankle or a hamstring or something like that. But J-Red's digging deep here. He's got Vernon Davis and a can of Pringles on his flex spot.
Would you pay for Pringle?
oh, nothing. And I might not even play him. It all depends on whether Tyreek Hill plays. I think.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. I mean, I think you should roll with him, man. Just go for it.
Well, I'm trying to look at this like if you don't play him, who do you play?
well, if Todd Gurley doesn't play, I'm playing Malcolm Brown. That's
Okay, and
that's
if
who I'm.
Gurley does play and Tyreek does play, you're gonna making like 7 waiver wire moves on Sunday morning, aren't you?
I might just roll with Pringle. I'm actually voting against myself this week. I don't think
I
I'm
did
going to
that
pull
last
up a
week
win.
and I got a win, so it might work for you. But yeah,
I could honestly see if Watkins isn't out there and Hill is, you know, if Hill's not 100%, he's more of your decoy, and you know, you could still have the opportunities there for Pringle.
Mhm.
anybody that runs a play with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback has an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
And him being in your flex and not one of your 3 dependent players, this is the kind of play that you have to make in a week where you're the underdog. Because if you strike gold, you can beat Chris. If you don't, you were going to lose anyway. So it's all like one of those throw a flyer in your flex play and see what happens. But
Yeah, Pringle's got
I
a
took
high
Neighoff.
ceiling.
Neighoff, you taking yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to take myself. I think as long as David Johnson starts, I think I'll be safe. If he doesn't start, you know, I might have an issue there, but
Yeah,
we'll
David
see.
Johnson not starting could really shake up your line. I mean, you You probably move Henry up into a spot, and I mean you got depth. I heard
I got
Jackson's out.
options.
I heard
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson's out. Crowder could be a play, but Debo Samuel against the Rams, that could be a good play because I think that's going to be a high-scoring game.
Debo let me down last week, man. I needed 15, and he couldn't do it. But
15. God, he
I'm
caught
really
one ball.
happy. I'm really happy to have Gallup back in.
Oh, I bet you are. Zeke's on the board.
I don't think Gordon's coming back in the game though, has he?
That's what we were just saying.
Nah.
You sure you
I
don't
haven't
want to
seen any
trade
updates
Gallup?
either.
You sure you don't want to trade Gallup? We could put together a trade right here on the podcast. It could happen.
Man, realistically, even if Gordon was healthy, Gallup would realistically be my number 2. And between Gordon and Deshaun Jackson, I'd be looking for my number 3.
I mean, I could throw you Marvin Jones and Zeke for Gallup and Derrick Henry.
I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the game, but Bolden is running wild.
I don't know if I can get rid of Henry, man. He's been my most consistent, double-digit fantasy guy every week. As hesitant as I was to draft him because of his injury history, knock on wood, double-digit fantasy points every week.
I would take any one of your 3 running backs plus Gallup for Zeke and Marvin Jones.
Oh my God! Can you guys do your trade talks?
Trying to put the live pressure on him. All right, so Jrad, are you really picking against yourself?
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I got too many buys this week. I don't like it. Unless James White scores here in the next 10 minutes, which they're throwing the Bolden now. They're not. Sony Michel's out and James White is out. I don't know. I'm picking Chris.
All right. So we got them. We're all taking me. Jrad took Ritter. Chris and I took Haynes. We all took Jay Leonard. We all took my brother. Chris and I took Rhodes. You took Boguet. And then we all took Neighoff. So Neighoff and I are going to tie this week, and you have a chance to actually put up some wins there, Jrad.
Oh, something else. I don't know if you guys kind of noticed how the crazy the scoring was in real life NFL last week and also in fantasy. The biggest blowout of the week was between me and Jason, and it was only it was less than 14 points. That
wild.
blew my mind. That absolutely blew my mind.
Yeah, the league was dead even. The second biggest was 13 points by Rhodes over Joubert. So that's how tight every other match was.
Yep. That's pretty awesome.
Shout out to Jason. He did put up the most amount of points last week in a single week, or in that single week. So he made another $20, or he made his first 20. So right now I've got 20. Haynes has 20. Joubert has 2 20s, which makes 40, and Boguet has 20 also.
Some quick math there.
First quarter winner was you, Neighoff. You were not here last week, so you couldn't get congratulations, but you get $30 for that.
Oh snap, son!
So
that's what's up, boys.
You're on your way to getting your pay in.
Oh, daddy fat sacks.
All right, let's roll out. You guys send it off. What do you got, Neighoff? Anything good for us this week?
highest scorer right here, boy.
Yeah, that's what you're predicting?
That's
what you're calling this
predicting. I'm calling it, man. I'm making a lot of calls.
J-Rad, give us some full tilt, bye week, panic mode inspiration.
Oh, I'm sending ghost trades out right now to each and every team. You can accept it.
You can accept it. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it. Sorry again for missing Tuesday and Wednesday, but destiny does call. I will post this up here soon, and we will be back next week to see how everything fared. And good luck to all you bastards.
See ya.
All right.
See ya, boys.